AEW Dynamite. Sin City. Las Vegas. Ricochet's right at home. We'll talk about Ricochet tonight. Apparently, he's got an issue with WWE. Apparently, he feels like they killed his passion for professional wrestling. They killed his love for professional wrestling. I don't know, man. I feel like you owe them a debt of gratitude being that you met your wife there. Yeah, but we'll talk about that later. MJF. Probably the best world champion in all pro wrestling right now, and he loses in 3 minutes. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Andrade! My guy Andrade, man. My guy El Idolo. Man, he looks great, doesn't he? Andrade defeats Kenny Omega. Now we'll talk about what happens going into Grand Slam Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chi-Town Smark is with me. He's got his whiskey. And we're going to talk some pro wrestling tonight. And then when I get to the venue, I'm going to walk through those doors. And on this Wednesday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for February 4th, 2026. Friday is some asshole's birthday, I hear. And I'm joined tonight on this Wednesday night by the one and only Chi-Town Smark, Jesse. What is going on, brother?
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. How you doing? How you doing on this Wednesday night, man?
Good. How does it feel having the second most important birthday this month?
Well, who's the second? I know my brother's is on February 16. Who am I missing?
I mean, we are brothers. I mean, sure. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait. Correct me if doesn't my brother share a birthday with somebody that I know?
That's right.
Who is he?
That's right. We got to find out who that guy is.
I don't know. Is he a Vikings fan?
Oh, man. Is he ever? But first, before we get there, we have one coming up before mine. Unfortunately, we have yours. What are you doing this Friday, man?
Working.
Oh, my gosh.
Working. Watching SmackDown, man. That's my birthday. Watching Friday Night SmackDown. I know it sounds depressing, but the job doesn't stop.
Is it still 3 hours?
Unfortunately, yes.
Man, buck that, bruh.
I know. I know. Listen, Saturday, I'm celebrating. I'm meeting my brothers, and I am meeting the Solo Monster in the city for some delicious food and cocktails that are way too expensive.
There you go. That's how we do it, man.
Yeah. So
take plenty of pictures for the grams.
Well, I'm not really a gram type of guy,
I see. How was the show, bro?
You know what, man? Normally we come on here and we're fucking nuclear, right? Right at the top. And there's a lot that I personally don't like. I feel like it could be better. Tonight I watched it with a little bit more of a focus. I put my phone down. I don't really tweet during Dynamite anymore because I just want to avoid the fucking incels on social media. No matter what you say, it's just the wrong thing. So I watched the show. I made myself a couple of lattes, and it wasn't bad. There's a heavy focus on pro wrestling, which is what they do. I wish they kind of scale back a little bit on it and tell me a little bit more of a story and flesh out some stories. But all in all, I was very much looking forward to coming on in. I was looking forward to Andrade and Kenny Omega, and they didn't disappoint. I was looking forward to MJF and Brody King. That's the one major thing that I think we both have a problem with, and we don't really understand. But we kind of understand at the same time. And, they're doing a very good job of building towards Grand Slam. Now, the show doesn't really mean anything. It's going to be on a huge tape delay in Australia, but they are setting it up to be somewhat of an important show. And Revolution, I've been on record saying that I actually think Revolution outside of All In is their biggest pay-per-view of the year. So, everything is seemingly going in a good direction. Do I think it could be done better? Do I wish there was more focus on dialogue and some stories? Yes. That's always been the major problem that I've had with Dynamite. But with all that said, I didn't think tonight was as terrible as we usually come on here and immediately jump to.
No, it was very wrestling heavy too. I personally would have liked a little bit more entertainment in my sports entertainment.
Yeah.
Personally. But there's always that balance. You're always trying to find that balance of the amount of wrestling versus the amount of entertainment that you give. But on the weekly programming, I don't think that it's wise to have wrestling heavy shows, especially, and this is the main reason why, because especially since apparently the thing now, because it's been done for so long, is to have commercial breaks in the middle of wrestling matches. I don't think promoters really understand how off-putting that is. When you turn to an NFL game, you don't sit there and watch a play, quarterback back in the pocket, going deep for the touchdown, and we'll get back to that pass after this commercial break. They don't interrupt the flow of the action that people are tuning in to see. You know what I'm saying? You don't see a basketball game on a fast break, and before the fast break ends, we're going to cut to commercial break. They don't cut to commercial break in the middle of an at-bat. In baseball, why do they do it in pro wrestling? You gotta find better spots to put your ad breaks at. I understand that they have to be there. You got to pay the bills. I understand that's revenue. But I don't understand why you have to systematically put them in the middle of wrestling matches all the time. All the time. The matches shouldn't be that long anyway because it's a TV show. So wait till the match is over. Do it before and after the matches and things like that. You really shouldn't have. I mean, it takes the flow and the interest out of the match. I went from caring about this match to looking at Papa John's delivery special.
What are you talking about? The Omega Andrade match? There's a commercial in the middle of it?
All matches. Every last they seem to have done it in every last single match. It's just a known thing. They cut the commercial break mid-match. And
why did it bother you? Why did it bother you tonight, being that it's an every week thing? What really kind of set you off there?
Because I'm sitting there watching the show trying to find out why I'm not interested in these matches. And since there were so many matches tonight, and then we got commercial breaks in all of them, I found myself getting into the flow of a match, watching it, and then break.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, when we come back from break, now we're back from break, and then I'm like, I'm a little less interested in it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I could see why you feel that way, because I actually, I got up from the couch and I went to go make a coffee during the Hangman and Mark Davis match, because I don't really give a shit to begin with there, since we know what the outcome's going to be. But I take my phone and I'm watching the show on my phone while I'm making my latte in the kitchen, and they go into a commercial during that match, and I get why you feel that way, because it's like you don't care about it coming in. And then you're going into a commercial during the middle of that match, and it's like, I don't even give a shit now. Like, I didn't give a shit going in, and I don't give a shit even more so now, because I know who's going to win when we come back.
It just interrupts. Nobody does that. Nobody does that for pro wrestling. No other sporting event does that. Nobody does that. Nobody takes a break in the middle of something that people are supposedly tuning in to see. So I don't understand why it's done here, and it feels like it hurts more here, because again, I'm trying to get invested into these matches, and the last thing I want to do is have to stop, wait, watch ads, get up, go to the washroom, come back, get a snack, get a drink, come back, and then a minute later the match is over, because most of it happened during the commercial break. Yeah. That's how are we supposed to get invested into these matches?
Yeah, it's something that's never going to change. It's never going to change. WWE is even worse with it. AEW, at least it's somewhat tolerable. WWE, it's just overly offensive with how many commercial breaks there are. But I get it. It is frustrating. And it's even more frustrating during matches that you don't even give a shit about coming in.
They all do it. And it can be helped. Because the first off, you really don't want to be running 20-minute wrestling matches during a weekly TV show anyway. Those are for pay-per-view. So the matches should be shorter and sweeter and more to the point. If that's the case, you should be able to fit a whole match between commercials.
This is why they should focus on storytelling. Some more dialogue, Tony. I don't know what we're doing. Everything's a fucking pro wrestling exhibition for 20 minutes on this show. Anyway, I get that. I get that criticism. But as far as the show tonight, Jesse, what was your biggest takeaway tonight? I know there were a couple of big things that happened tonight, a couple of, I would say, honestly, in the vein of what the fuck moments tonight. What was your biggest takeaway for tonight's Dynamite?
So we got MJF, get the world champion, all right, coming out. Had a main event match with Brody King, and one of our favorite matches, one that seems to be a crutch these days here, is eliminator matches. What's an eliminator match?
We had two of them tonight.
Yeah. An eliminator match is if you want a championship match, then you have to beat the champion to get a championship match.
I hate it.
Look, man, what happened to the number one contender getting the championship match? What happened to someone beating a slew of different people? What happened to someone winning a stipulation match that doesn't include defeating the champion? You win this triple threat match, you get a title match. You do this, you do that, you do that. You jump through the hoops so that you can earn your shot at this man who's sitting there waiting for you. Not beat him, then you get a chance to try to beat him again. Because we already assume what's going to happen with the second match with Brody King and MJF. The result is going to be. But before we even get there, it feels like you're skipping over something that we've been sitting here asking for, and that's more storytelling. So if you got Brody King doing other things to get to MJF, it's not a step to skip over. That's storytelling. And that's what get people more invested into Brody to get him to MJF. But they lean on that quite often. It's the defeat the champion to get a championship match. You make your champion look that much weaker. Now I'll give them this benefit here. There's not much they can do to MJF to make him look weak. I mean, he's the strongest goddamn entity in AEW, period. So it's not like him losing to Brody King is going to do him any harm. That's not the point of the case. But the point is, you want him being and looking as strong as humanly possible, because then when someone beats him, they look even stronger. All right. And not to mention, you still want to get people to be more invested in Brody King. Let's make something clear right now. No one has been more behind Brody King being in the main event scene than me. I've been clamoring for it. I've been asking for it for weeks upon weeks upon weeks. I want to see the slow build of him getting to the main event scene, not from tag team. Here's MJF. I mean, he's here, but a part of that is the story in between. How did we get here? What hurdles did he go through to get here? And it seems like they just kind of rushed it a little bit to get MJF and Brody King on the same level.
Yeah, I talked about this with Solid Monster last night on TNT. Last week I didn't understand what they were doing. They gave us one thing, and then it was another thing, and then we talked about it last night. He made a little bit more sense of it than the fucking commentary team did, because they didn't relay any information to the viewer at all. So we talked about it last night, and apparently Adam Page is now wrestling Andrade, who beat Omega. Now, the winner of tonight's Andrade and Omega match is getting Page at Grand Slam. So I asked, why is Page in the quote-unquote finals of this little mini unofficial tournament that they're running when he hasn't wrestled anybody? What gives him the right to just go to Australia without actually having to wrestle anybody or beat anybody like the other guys? And Jason said, well, he was supposed to wrestle Samoa Joe, but Samoa Joe got hurt, I'm assuming, in his match with Speedball Mike Bailey 2 weeks ago, and they were rushing to fill the spot, and apparently they had nobody else outside of the guys that they showcased on television feuding with MJF over the World Championship. So they just put Adam Page in this Grand Slam final against Andrade now, who beat Omega. So I didn't really understand why. Now, they tried to make sense of it tonight, which in actuality they didn't, because they just made something that was already predictable even more predictable. They put Adam Page in a match with Mark Davis, and they put the narrative around it of MJF is going to pay Mark Davis $1,000 if he takes out Page, and Mark Davis is going to be that roadblock, and if Adam Page loses, he doesn't go to Grand Slam. What does Mark Davis have to do with the AEW World Championship? Mark Davis and AEW World Championship should not be in the same sentence, okay? So what I'm trying to say to everybody is, I did not like MJF losing in 3 minutes, okay? Now, like Jesse said, MJF is bulletproof. Nothing's going to happen to him via this loss tonight to Brody King, because Brody King's a legit fucking beast. So that's number one. The thing that bothers me is MJF just won the championship at World's End at the end of December. He had one title defense against Bandito where he won a fucking battle royal for a meaningless ring that nobody's worn outside MJF for 7 years. And he beat Ricochet to earn the opportunity to get that title match against MJF. So MJF beats Bandito, and that's his only title defense. So you put him in another match, his second match this year as the AEW World Champion, and you have him lose in 3 minutes. To me, the optics of that look terrible. You should not be beating MJF, let alone your world champion, in 3 minutes. And it came in the most geek-like way, Jesse. Adam Page came out. As soon as the bell rang, Adam Page's music hit. MJF turns around, and we coined this, Solid Monster coined this, dumb babyface syndrome. MJF's not a babyface, but he's a fucking sly prick. He knows what he's doing in there. He turns around, he gets distracted by Adam Page's music. Next thing you know, he's getting gonzo bombed in the ring, and he's losing. I don't like any of that. And, you know, a lot of people come on here and say that we're overly critical without giving any constructive criticism. Here's your constructive criticism for the evening. If Tony Khan wanted to build Brody King up as the guy that is a threat to MJF's world championship, and I get why they had him beat MJF in 3 minutes, because now to them it makes Brody King look legitimate, like he deserves a championship match now because he beat MJF in 3 minutes. But I said this last week. MJF told Brody King that he needs elite competition, and he needs to beat that elite competition to get MJF in the World Championship. So he went to Tony Khan, did Brody King, and they came to a conclusion. Yes, MJF is correct. So you go and have an eliminator match and you beat elite competition in the AEW World Champion. No, it doesn't work that way. You can't give me that narrative on television while these other guys are busting their balls fighting for the number one contendership and getting there through wins. So Adam Page had nobody else to wrestle, Jesse. They theoretically put him in the quote-unquote finals of this tournament, and they put Mark Davis in front of him tonight as a roadblock. Why couldn't they put Brody King in the mix there to mix it up with the other elite competition struggling to get wins? I don't see what it would have been as far as a big deal if Brody beat Adam Page tonight. He goes on to Grand Slam. He wrestles Andrade. And then Brody goes on to Grand Slam to beat Andrade to get MJF for the pay-per-view. You would have made Brody King look strong. You wouldn't have beat MJF. And you would have put him in a championship match because he earned getting the championship match. And that would have been your pay-per-view match. Now, more than likely, we're looking at one of two options. MJF versus Andrade, which is a great fucking match because they're both tremendous, but they're both heels. Or on the flip side, you look at MJF and Adam Page, which quite honestly, in my opinion, I don't really want to see anymore. So there could have been one easy way to fix this, and they didn't take that easy way, Jesse. Instead, they beat their world champion in 3 minutes. Please tell me when I'm telling any sort of lies there.
Yeah, no, I'm look, I've never been a fan. I think we have historically not been fans of eliminator matches. It makes no sense. B, you are skipping over so much crucial storytelling to get to the match that you're trying to get to. I mean, I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it make sense. Well, how does Brody King get a title match? But this is how, because he beat the champion. I was like, well, that just feels, I'm sorry, that just feels a little lazy. It feels like if you they have plenty of time between pay-per-views here. You have plenty of time to tell the story, to tell the legend how Brody King got to his pay-per-view match with MJF. You didn't have to take this shortcut. So I don't understand why they do it like this. I mean, it'd be more effective, it'd be better TV, and it would make more sense. I don't understand why they lean on these eliminator matches like this.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's already predictable that Brody King is not going to beat MJF. And instead of actually prolonging it and giving us some sort of story that not only enhances Brody King through wins, and then you can tell a story through the remaining weeks of television that you got, you're rushing to beat him when we all know he's not going to win the championship anyway. So why are you rushing to beat him instead of taking the long road to tell some stories and make some great television with him as the number one contender and getting him there through wins? Why are you rushing to beat him? You're going to beat him anyway. Why are you rushing it?
Yep.
I don't understand the logic behind what they're doing here. So on the flip side to that, you know, they gave us Omega and Andrade tonight, which I was very much looking forward to because I'm a big fan of Andrade's. And I'm glad to see that he's doing great. He looks refreshed and rejuvenated. He looks in the best shape of his career. He's fucking fantastic. One of the best in the world. He beat Omega tonight. Now, I was shocked by that. And that's a good thing because Omega apparently is doing some video game tournament in Japan. So putting him in a championship program with MJF isn't going to work at this time, which is fine. I was hoping they would preserve that match for later in the year anyway, because honestly, in my opinion, it's the biggest match that MJF has during his title run outside of maybe a Will Ospreay match at All In. So I'm glad that they're waiting on that. So they pivoted, Jesse, to give Andrade the match against Page at Grand Slam. And it looks like Omega is heading in a direction against Swerve, which is great because not only do we get a great match for the World Championship with MJF against possibly Andrade, or if it's Hangman, which I hope it's not, we're also getting another great match between two top contenders, and it prolongs Kenny Omega's story where he's not immediately getting the championship, and he's going to have to struggle to get it, and now he's got to go through Swerve to do it, which is great. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. It seems like we have a lot of baby faces at the top of the card too. No, because I feel like we're getting this babyface versus babyface dynamic on a couple of feuds here.
Yeah, I don't think that really bothers them that much. I think they're just going for the pro wrestling aspect and the competitive nature of everybody wanting the world championship, no matter who you are, which is fine because everybody should be that way.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's fine, but I mean, I just hope they don't stray away from that because babyface on babyface will work. It's the heel versus heel matches that are hard to consume.
Yeah,
because everybody wants to cheer and everybody wants to boo. So if there's nobody to cheer because you have two heels, then you just got a match where everybody's just being booed. You know what I mean? The dynamic doesn't really work. Babyface versus babyface, you don't get to boo somebody, but you get to cheer for both men. I get it. You know, but yeah, the main event scene, and we touched on this last week when they started teasing all of the adversaries in front of MJF. Now the main event scene is looking a little bit better these days. It really is. They are focused on the world title. They are focused on who's going to challenge MJF. They are focused on telling us how many different people are in front of him. So even as he has Brody King in front of him now, he still has Hangman. He still has Swerve. I mean, nobody has forgotten the bigger picture. And I do kind of like that. I like that the 1v20 aspect of the world champion has everybody gunning for him. As long as everybody that comes out of the feud with him leave that feud looking stronger. So I don't want to see Brody King after he loses his world title match at the pay-per-view to just be tossed back into a tag team or just something of irrelevance. I would like to see him remain at the top of the card, competing with Omega, Hangman, Swerve, Andrade, everybody else up there. Brody King should remain in that top echelon of talent in AEW.
Absolutely. If this doesn't get him to that point and they don't follow up with doing that with him, then what the fuck are we doing?
Right.
This is all for nothing, really. You're just wasting everybody's time. And I feel like, I don't know how you feel, Jesse. Do you feel like they could add maybe 2 or 3 more guys to the top of that card battling over the world championship? Because I feel right now, with the way it's looking, they got Andrade, they got Omega, they got Hangman, they got Swerve. MJF's obviously the champion, so he would round out 5, but he's the champion. So we got 4 challengers. Joe was there. I don't know how long he's going to be out. Do you feel like they could add maybe another 2 or 3 guys there? Because I feel like if they don't, it may get a little samey at the top, and television isn't going to be as fresh as it should be.
They should always have plenty of people hovering around that line. I was just talking about this on my stream. I feel like Ricochet at this point should have been elevated up to the main event scene. They're keeping him around the mid-card range. And look, I've said this with Swerve and the crew that they had him saddled with. I feel like GOA and Ricochet, that pairing is just not working for either side.
No.
I don't feel like GOA is a better tag team because they're with Ricochet. I don't feel like Ricochet is a better singles guy or a better heel because, he's with GOA. I don't understand the pairing. It's not, nobody's really benefiting from it. And if they get that mid-card title off of Ricochet and get him away from the Gates of Agony, I feel like they could start making some moves to get him elevated another rung or 2 into that main event scene. The way they have him positioned and the way he's acting, the things that he's doing now, it doesn't compute. I can see it doesn't make any sense. But Ricochet is, low key on one of the best runs of his career. He's killing it on TV, not on social media, but he's killing it in AEW right now as a mid-card guy. And I think if they work on him a little bit more, get him away from GOA, maybe get him with his wife, I think he could be moved up to the main event scene.
I think that's what they're waiting for. I disagree with what you're saying in regards to Ricochet. I don't think he's any bigger or better than he was in WWE. The only difference is he's got a championship here, whereas he had I guess he had a championship in WWE. Wasn't he one of the speed champions? That doesn't really mean much of anything, but I don't think he's elevated himself at all here.
Well, it feels like he's on the same level right now. The same level he was in WWE. Yes. But I feel like this heel run that he's on is something that you could definitely use in the main event scene.
Oh, sure. Yeah. If they tinker with it, yes. I don't like the current direction of what he's doing now, but if he came in with Samantha and they gave him, just her as his valet and break him away from the Gates of Agony, who I find painfully boring, I think that could actually work for him.
It very much could, man. I mean, he has been at the top of the card before in Lucha Underground. It is possible, but this heel run is something that I've not seen from him like ever in any of his work. I mean, this is pretty good stuff. I mean, I know he annoys quite a few people. I know everybody that wants to hate on him or whatever, but this heel run is something that definitely could work in the main event scene if they pushed it, tweaked it a little bit, and ran with it.
They got him. Kyle Fletcher could be moved up. I don't know why only one Don Callis family member needs to be feuding over the World Championship. Kyle Fletcher is certainly a World Championship caliber wrestler. He doesn't need to be going after the TNT Championship anymore. He's well beyond that. And you wanted us to believe that he is a world champion because he wrestled Adam Page and he was out there claiming that he's ready now. So where is he? He should be in the mix. He should be in the discussion. I don't give a shit if he's heel or not. So get him in there. We need a couple more guys. I feel like it's going to get very, very old very quickly if they don't start adding more guys to who they got right now on television chasing MJF. But
that's a good point. And I said this on my channel too. I would disband the entire Don Callis family. I don't think anybody's getting over through this Don Callis.
No,
family.
they're all just a conglomeration of talents, and it's like it's one guy's time, and then the rest of them got to wait, and then it's another guy's time, and then another guy's got to wait. It's like how many world champion guys they got there?
Yeah, no, I would disband the entire faction, and I get why they use Don Callis as much as they do, and he is really good at what he does. I would use Don Callis as a heel authority figure in the company. I'd just flat out somehow make him a heel authority figure, disband the Don Callis family, and let everyone there do their own damn thing.
Well, we'll definitely get into Ricochet and the Don Callis family wrestle tonight against the Death Riders, which, again, it's another part of AEW that I don't really understand right now, and they're just going with it, and they're letting the fans kind of guide them where they need to be. Nobody knows who to cheer for, baby faces, heels. We don't even know what the Death Riders are anymore. So we'll definitely talk about that. We got the Hangman Page, Marty Scurll conversation and the controversy surrounding the picture that Marty Scurll posted on Instagram last week, which Adam Page addressed. So we'll talk about that. Ricochet was all over social media today, and he said some inflammatory things about his former employer. So we'll definitely dissect that. And we'll have some fun tonight here on the AEW Dynamite post show. It is Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. So thank you guys for joining us here on this Wednesday night. Follow us on social media at JD from NY206, at Chi-Town Smark. Go follow Jesse on YouTube, same at Chi-Town Smark. What's going on in the land of Chi-Town on YouTube, bro?
Same old, man. I am doing all of the watch alongs except SmackDown. Forget that, man. Not doing a 3-hour show. And got some other stuff coming up this month. A couple of collabs, even. Gotta wait and see. Subscribe to the channel. Find out more later.
You know the little preview and predictions we did, man. What'd that reach? 10,000 views for you?
Yeah, man, that reached about 8,000 views. It was a nice little, it was impromptu, I mean, I definitely want to do more stuff like that once in a while. I want to bring in different people here and there and just try to, I want to reach out to different kinds of audiences. There's different kinds of wrestling fan audiences out there. And we've collabed with quite a few of them. I want to try to bring them into the channel and just kind of spread the love around a little bit.
There you go. So look forward to that. Jesse's got some cool stuff coming up, and it's probably not going to be the last time we do a preview and predictions over there. So go and subscribe. You guys are killing it this month over on this side of the fence. Last night on TNT, Jason and I had 3,800 people, almost 4,000 on a random Tuesday with our Royal Rumble post. Unbelievable. You guys killed it, not only with the audience. The watch time was over 50 minutes. You guys killed it in the super chats. So thank you guys very much for that. I told you this is going to be a big, big month, and we're not even started yet. Jesse knows what's coming up as far as what I have coming up later in the month. And I can't really say much right now because I just wanted to have it happen organically. But Jesse, is it fucking exciting? You know what I'm talking about. Is it exciting and is it a big deal? And let the chat know how big of a deal this is.
I don't come here and gaslight. If anything, I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna bust your balls, and I'm gonna give you shit. But when the community gets wind of what you have coming up, man, it's gonna snap the wrestling internet in half.
Oh man, I can't wait. It's gonna be good. Exciting stuff coming up, so look forward to that, chat. Go and check out the rest of the content on the channel. Like I said, TNT yesterday, Monday night. I got a video already in the can for tomorrow. We talk about AJ Styles and the latest update on what he's doing post-retirement in WWE. So look forward to that tomorrow. Friday, we'll be live for SmackDown/birthday celebration. I will be having Old Fashions live with you guys, so make sure you bring your beverage of choice and come hang out. And then Super Chats tonight are open. They are always open. Get them on in. Best way to support. Hit the thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. And all that stuff. You guys know what to do there. And thank you to the audio family on iTunes, Spotify, and all other audio platforms. We are nice and comfortable in the top 20. You guys are killing it over there. And continue to leave ratings and comments over there. Helps us out tremendously. We're doing unbelievable so far in the beginning of 2026 on the audio side of things. I'd love to break into the top 15. So if you guys can help us do that, that would be unbelievable. Every inch up the charts, I want to have LaGreca's eyes open. Oh, man, we got to bring him on in. Come on. You guys know the deal there. All right, man. Let's start at the top here. We will get into all the other stories as we go along, but we'll start with the top of Dynamite, which tonight we had a 6-person tag team match with the Death Riders, Jon Moxley, Pac, and Danny Garcia. They're out there with Marina Shafir against the Don Callis family. This is Konosuke Takeshita, El Clone, and Josh Alexander. Now, I will say, they were in Las Vegas tonight. There's something really cool about the aesthetics of the type of place they were in tonight. And I really enjoyed the venue aesthetics that they had going tonight. So there's a positive there. I do like when AEW runs these smaller, like opera kind of auditoriums. It looks pretty cool on television with the circular shape and the balconies, different levels of balconies. I thought it looked pretty cool. So the presentation was good there. Death Riders, Jesse, are they baby faces? Are they heels? Because they're certainly wrestling a heel faction in the Don Callis family. Do you get a sense that AEW doesn't give a shit and they're just letting the fans guide the winds of where they cheer and where they boo?
I'm not gonna speculate on what they're thinking as to why they're booking the Death Riders the way that they are, but I will say this: I'm not enjoying it, and it's just the ambiguity of it is killing me. Like I just want to know what we're meant to do with this faction, because on one segment the rest of them are healed, then in another segment they're all babyface because Moxley is babyface, and I just want to know. I mean, I'm willing to take what they're giving me at face value as far as what they're telling me the Death Riders are, but at the same time, they're not really telling me anything. They're just kind of leaving it out there. Almost like, yeah, they're enjoying this and it being ambiguous and things like that. But for me, it's a little confusing because when I see them doing babyface things, I instantly think back to when they were just doing heel things. So like, I just want to know what the mission statement is for the Death Riders. They used to come out and tell us, we're here to right the wrongs in this company. We're here to do this, and we're here to do this, and we're here to do this, and then we're here to make it in our... We knew exactly what they were all about. We knew because they laid it all out. Now, I have no idea. I have no idea. I know Moxie's getting great babyface heat. Good. Good. If that's what the role is going to be, good. If the Death Riders are going to be babyface, okay, I have some questions. But okay, I mean that's what it is. But they'll book the rest of the Death Riders as heel, but Moxley as babyface. And then when they come out together, it just seems very confusing. I got Moxley out there trying to feud with the Don Callis family. What is happening? I just want to know what is happening. I mean, if this is the new day and age of booking, I mean, I guess it is what it is. And my old self is just like, back in my day, heels were heels and baby faces were baby face, because it just made more sense when you watch a match and when you watch a feud and when you watch what's going on, you knew who the bad guys were, you knew who the good guys were. I mean, we've been in limbo for weeks now, and I'm still waiting to find out what's going on with them.
Yeah, it's very difficult for me to care. You know, Moxley went from losing matches and the tease of the Death Riders kicking him out because he would speak all this high and mighty stuff and then lose. And we all thought that he was going to get booted out of his own group. Right. Then he wins the Continental Classic. He cuts a babyface promo. He goes on this crusade of wrestling, great wrestling matches. He wins. He's now the Continental Champion. And he's now all of a sudden a great leader through wins. So it's like, and the fans are looking at that as some sort of like defiance. Like, oh my God, Moxley's back to form. But Moxley hasn't changed. Jon Moxley's the same guy. So we're cheering him based on the quality of pro wrestling that Moxley has given us as compared to what he was doing with the company, where he was obviously trying to kill the company. I don't know what they're trying to be. Like Jesse said, they set out to be something, and now they're moving on to be nothing. Like, what are they?
What are they?
The only reason why they're feuding here with the Don Callis family is because there's no other faction in AEW to feud with. And they ran through the baby faces, and they can't tell the same story over and over again. That story's long gone already. So now what are they doing? They're going to tell a story with which faction is the most dominating faction on AEW Dynamite. And in this case, it's the Don Callis family, who are very much heels, and everybody hates Don Callis. So just by that, we're going based off the Don Callis family being heels to cheer the Death Riders. It doesn't work that way. Like, to me, the way that I look at it is, you're not telling me through character work who I should cheer for and who I should like. You're basically giving us, you know, Don Callis family's a heel, so you're supposed to cheer these guys because they're going against the Don Callis family, but they're both heels. I can't get invested in their character work, and I want to get invested in their character work because at that point, I could make myself a determination on whether I want to cheer for them or boo for them. Like, I don't need you to tell me, like, you got to cheer these guys because he's going against a heel. No, they're both heel factions. You have to tell that through character work, and they fail to do that.
Yeah, and I get what their reply would be. I could see TK answering this right now, like, oh well, you know, they're just meant to be who they are, and you can cheer or boo whoever you want to. And it's no. Here's what we're talking about. The dynamic of pro wrestling has basically always been good guy versus bad guy. Now, I get there are situations and there were feuds and there are times where that line has been, you know, very thin and who knows and things like that. But now when you involve a faction, it really does make it a little bit harder to understand when you got Moxley as a babyface, but the rest of his faction is heel. And I mean, I'm just waiting for this to implode. I'm waiting for them to kick him out. I'm waiting for him to want to leave. This whole dynamic just seems off. Like, why are they out there backing him when in the next segment they'll be facing someone that he, you know, distinctly loves? I mean, I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe they'll all make it make sense down the road. I don't know, but it does make it harder to get invested into a story when you don't understand the story. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
As we all said, trying to get invested into the storylines, it's hard to get invested in it when you don't understand it. So I would just like something distinctive, something a little bit cut and dry as to what's going on with the Death Riders. Either way, they won't even address the situation as it is now. They haven't even addressed the fact that the Death Riders are trying to stay heel and Moxley is a baby face. It's not even like there's an inner turmoil like, oh my God, what are we doing? This guy, is like not the same guy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's pretending like everything is normal. So it's not even a part of the story that there is a rift in the dynamic. Everything is still normal to them, and it's still weird to us. So we're trying to figure this shit out.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in any of this at all. The only thing that matters here, and what they're clearly setting up for, again, I'm not sure if it's taking place in Grand Slam or at Grand Slam in Sydney, or if it's going to be safe for Revolution, which is Takeshita going after the Continental Championship against Jon Moxley. It's the only thing that is even worth mentioning here. That's the big story. That's the big feud here. And apparently Takeshita wants to get back the Continental Championship and bring it back to the Don Callis family, because he wants to prove to Don Callis that he can do the one thing that Okada couldn't, that's beat Jon Moxley. That's the story. It's basically what it is. So there was a 6-man tag team match here, and Takeshita and Moxley are the only ones that really mattered. Non-playable characters in El Clone and Josh Alexander, and then you got Pac, who's fucking great. Jesse and I love Pac. And then Danny Garcia. Nobody cares. So the ending of this was actually really good. And the match broke down at the end. Clone took out Pac with a Asai moonsault. And that was cool because it was a one-legged Asai moonsault to the outside. He was met with a Moxley Tope Suicida. Garcia, he is in the ring. He applied a Dragon Tamer. He was rolled up for a 2. Garcia comes back, charged, ran right into a Blue Thunder Bomb for a great-looking spot by Takeshita. Takeshita went for a power driver knee. He was caught with a forearm. Takeshita blocked a Cazadora by Danny Garcia into a bastard driver and a release German. So El Clone and Josh Alexander joined with a, I guess, a Don Callis family elbow train in the corner. And then Takeshita hits a power drive knee. Garcia kicked out. Takeshita is obsessed here with beating him, so he flattened Garcia with a Raging Fire and put the kibosh on this match. 1, 2, 3. Takeshita pins Garcia. He stared down Moxley, who was with the rest of his boys on the outside. So that was basically it. And again, the story here is Moxley and Takeshita. Takeshita wants the Continental Championship match with Moxley to bring the championship back into the Don Callis family so he can gloat to Okada. Because Takeshita is upset with Kyle Fletcher now, as Fletcher accepted Okada's apology last week for using the screwdriver. That's something that they took 4 months to tell. I don't know why, but we got there eventually, and Takeshita's now upset. He's upset with Okada, and now he's upset with Fletcher. So they didn't really progress the story here at all. They wanted to focus on Takeshita and Moxley. So the dialogue and the story between Takeshita and the rest of the Don Callis family and Okada, Jesse, took another week's hiatus. So I wish this is something they'd rectify. You can't really take weeks off in the story. It should always be constantly building. If you do a little here, a little there, or you want to do more on one week compared to another week, it's got to keep moving. And they have this thing where they just don't do it for weeks at a time, and it doesn't really make the story any more meaningful.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I completely find myself lost in everything going on with Don Callis because there's just too much and there's too many of them.
Yeah.
I'm losing track of who they're in feuds with and what's going on with them. I'm losing track of who's actually in the Don Callis family. This guy's in it. This guy's not in it. This guy used to be in it. He showed up, then he disappeared. Then he came back, and now he's still in it. This guy is out of it. It's becoming too much. It is too much to keep track of, and they themselves are having a hard time telling us the story they want to tell us with the Don Callis family. I think it's doing more harm than good at the end of the day, especially to quite a few of the top guys in there. You mentioned Kyle Fletcher, Konosuke, Okada. These guys they should be thriving. I think they're kind of drowning in it because there's just too much going on. There's just way too much going on with the Don Callis family. Yeah,
there's a lot. And like I said, the only thing that really matters here is Moxley and Takeshita. Again, I don't know if it's taking place at Grand Slam or if they're waiting for the pay-per-view. I would wait for the pay-per-view, wait for Revolution in Los Angeles, but that's the next title defense for Jon Moxley on a major stage against Konosuke Takeshita. They did show a Will Ospreay video package featuring highlights of his AEW run so far. highlights of him laying in the hospital, x-rays. He just recently is entering rehabilitation. He's been in rehabilitation for that neck. Excalibur said the surgery was a success. We don't know when Ospreay is returning to action, but AEW, according to some news that broke last week, Will Ospreay apparently is going to be back sooner rather than later. And the reason AEW aired this footage tonight is because they are hopeful that they can get him back by the springtime, which would be fantastic because, like we discussed earlier, that adds another major name to the mix in the world title scene, and he'll fit right in, and he doesn't really have to do much of anything. And if MJF is still by chance the AEW champion walking into Wembley in August, MJF and Will Ospreay again at Wembley for All In for the World Championship, and the crowning moment for Will Ospreay to finally be the AEW champion, to me, that's the biggest match that they can do at Wembley for the World Championship. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. They could easily go Ospreay Omega or Ospreay Swerve again. You know, either one of those would work, but I think MJF, in my honest opinion, is the biggest match there. But the reason they did this, Jesse, is because they're expecting Ospreay back, and when they get him back, it is going to be a big deal for them.
Or Ospreay Styles.
Or Ospreay Styles. We don't know, but who knows what Styles is doing. Apparently, he's going to be on Stephanie McMahon's podcast. This is just basically the John Cena thing all over again. They want to control the narrative. And I honestly think they want to keep AJ grounded, so they're going to pay him a boatload of money, give him some sort of Legends deal, and keep him away from wrestling anywhere else. That's exactly what I think they're going to do.
Now, they don't want to keep him away from wrestling anywhere else. They want to keep him away from wrestling in AEW.
Yes, exactly. Yes. There you go. Shocker there, people. Shocker.
That should be interesting.
No, man. Styles Ospreay for you, pal.
There'll be no Tokyo Dome.
Fuck you, Paul. Okay, fuck you, man.
I just hope AJ gets whatever AJ wants, because AJ Styles deserves to go out the way that AJ Styles wants to go out. Yeah. No matter what anybody fucking says. This guy is an absolute legend in this industry, and he has earned the right to call his goddamn shot the same as a John Cena or the Undertaker or any other huge name. AJ should be able to go out any way he wants to.
Yeah, I agree. Orange Cassidy. He went one. Actually, he was teaming up. He didn't go one-on-one. He was in a mixed tag team match tonight against Jordan Oasis and Brittany Brooks. Two jobbers. Woo! I don't know who they are. His tag team partner tonight, Jesse, was Timeless Toni Storm. So clearly, you know who won this match. I don't know why this was needed. All they could have done was come out and cut the promo. We didn't need them to wrestle as if they were some new up-and-coming talent on the show. So the deterioration, Jesse, of Timeless Toni Storm, you know, according to some on social media, needs to be studied, man. How are you feeling about Timeless Toni Storm having a jobber match on Dynamite over here?
I've said this a while ago. I don't know what they planned to do with Toni Storm, but whatever the plan was, it either massively failed or somehow succeeded. Because this is awful. This is a leap from the Toni Storm that they gave us. I don't understand why they're doing this. I mean, they had the absolute top female wrestler on the planet at one point. And this is what we have now. I understand she doesn't need to stay on top the entire time, but we don't need to go here. What is this, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought they were, I felt like this was a shits and giggles match because apparently they have a mixed tag team match coming up at Grand Slam Australia. It's going to be Wheeler Yuta and Marina Shafir against Orange Cassidy and Toni Storm. And the loser of this match at Grand Slam, the one who takes the losing fall needs to shave their head. So this guy, Jordan Oasis, was bald, and I feel like they basically did this match as this is what awaits Orange Cassidy. If he loses, he will be bald. So they beat these two jobbers, and then they cut a promo. Luther's in the ring. Cassidy took the microphone, and he says, I think this is a bad idea. Taking this match is a bad idea. He likes his hair. Storm then went on to say her hair is her livelihood, and she will look like a boiled egg or an angry penis if she shaves her head. Storm looked at Luther and crumbled to her knees as Luther placed her robe over her. She rose up and reminded her and Orange Cassidy who the hell they are. Two things in Australia will happen. Either Cassidy gives Wheeler Yuta a comb-over, or Storm will make Marina look like Jon Moxley. Now, I would assume here, Jesse, with what we see surveying the land here, is that Wheeler Yuta is getting a haircut, bro.
No,
his hair is leaving him, man.
No, not the great Yuta. I mean, I sincerely believe I am the only person. There's almost 1,800 people here. I'm the only person here that genuinely likes Wheeler Yuta.
You may very well be. I think out of everybody here, I think you are the only one.
I like Yuta, man. I think he's kind of fucking cool. I don't know. I think him losing his hair might get him even more over. That's fine. It's fine. Works.
Did you, speaking of women, did you see Tony Khan mention that Britt Baker has not wrestled her last match in AEW?
I saw something of the sort. I didn't know that was recent.
Yeah, he was apparently interviewed with the Battlegrounds podcast, and he said that he's not at liberty to say, but he feels Britt Baker will be back in AEW, and he's not at liberty to say when.
Why not? That would have been my next question. Like, is there is there some kind of legal precedence going on here? I mean, why not? Is there an injury you can't speak of? Why exactly not?
I don't know.
That's what I don't understand.
He says, and I quote, "I would expect to see Britt Baker back in AEW. I just don't want to say when."
He didn't say he couldn't. He said he didn't want to.
Well, he's not got. He never gives you any answers. So what difference does it make?
Yeah, I guess so. Why was she gone this long? Did he touch on that?
He says, "I really like Britt a lot, and I think there are so many exciting things happening in the women's division. Britt is somebody I really like and respect a lot, and I definitely think as of now we've evolved with more tag teams and singles wrestling opportunities now across multiple shows. Now that we have 4 hours of TV with Dynamite and Collision, which you've always had, I think there's going to be more and more opportunities."
What does that mean? You don't need her anymore?
What does he mean there? Are we adding a third hour to Dynamite? Are we adding a new show? Is Ring of Honor getting a TV deal? Like, I don't know what's going on here. Apparently, they're signing more people. Fightful put out a report saying that there are a ton of new signings that they haven't even announced yet, which is unbelievable to me. I don't know how many more people they need. So he says, I'm signing a lot more young wrestlers, and Britt is still someone very highly regarded and respected here in AEW. So I would expect to see Britt back in AEW. I just don't want to say when.
Okay. Yep. I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, we can smell bullshit a mile away. We may not know the truth, but we can definitely smell bullshit.
If I was to take a stab at it, I don't think we see her back, period. If we do by chance see her back, I have a feeling that she may end up in some sort of weird faction with Mercedes Moné. I don't know why I'm feeling that. I don't know why I'm thinking that. I feel like with Mercedes kind of leaving everybody hanging, I'm going to come back and I'm taking more than championship belts. I have a feeling she's going to come back and try and make a big impact. And I think that means she'll probably come back with some sort of faction.
So they're going to bring Britt Baker back, someone who pretty much had her own stable and make her a lackey for Mercedes.
Yes. That's just my prediction. It's no news or anything. It's just me.
I could see the demotion there. I could see that. I really could. There's clearly some kind of heat going on. I mean, let's just put our cards on the fucking table here. There's clearly some kind of heat going on between Britt Baker and Tony Khan. We don't know what it is. We don't know to what degree. We don't know what it's over. All of that is just hearsay, could be, maybe this. We don't know. But clearly we can see there is something between Tony Khan and Britt Baker. We just don't know what it is.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. When you piss off the fucking world champion, then you get yourself benched at home, collecting a paycheck with no TV time in sight. Last time we saw her, she pissed off MJF. I wonder if the champ said, you know what, honey? Sit at home. Make me a fucking sandwich.
And she tried kicking his wife out of the locker room. Right? That didn't go well.
No, man. That didn't end well for DMD over there, huh?
That didn't go well at all.
Anyway, that's what Tony said. We'll see what happens with Britt. I doubt he wants her going to WWE at all, so maybe he does bring her back to television. We don't know. AEW Trios Champion, Adam Hangman Page. You know, Trios Champions just mean a lot nowadays, you know?
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah. He went one-on-one with the Don Callis family's Mark Davis. Apparently, this was a roadblock for Adam Page, who apparently is getting the winner of Omega and Andrade at Grand Slam, with the winner of that match getting MJF in Los Angeles at Revolution. I don't know why Adam Page didn't have to wrestle anybody that is of elite status for an opportunity to go to Revolution. And this Mark Davis thing was nothing more than a roadblock because, like we talked about on TNT last night, I believe he was supposed to wrestle Samoa Joe, but Samoa Joe got hurt in his match with Speedball Mike Bailey. So this is what they came up with on the fly, and it was predictable. You might as well not have even had the match, period. But it was very predictable, like I said. And you know what, Jesse? I kind of feel bad for Mark Davis because, you know, he's not bad. I mean, he's got no gimmick. He's got no character. He's just a part of the Don Callis family like we talked about. He's just one of like fucking 15. But, I mean, the guy is big. He looks like a bruiser. He's legit. He's not a bad wrestler at all. He's a very believable guy. You put him in there. I mean, he can fucking wreck shit up in a good way. I like to see that type of thing. And he was a part of this Doyle and Davis tag team, and then Doyle got hurt last week and tore his bicep in a match with FTR. You know, I don't really care for Mark Davis in general, but the one thing I hope Tony Khan does is keep him in the mix. Not like in a prominent way, but like continue to give him television time when you can. Don't have him just be a background player and kind of waste away while Doyle is recovering from this bicep injury. Get him some TV time. Put him in these types of television segments and continue to focus him in front of the audience until Doyle comes back, because I don't want to see him just kind of waste away again.
No, he's not. There's nothing wrong with everything going on with him, but with Davis. But the thing is, he falls under the same category as so many different people do in this company, and creative a lot of the times fail to make us care about them before they put them in the situations that they put them in. Basically, they put the cart in front of the horse a lot of times when it comes to their pushing. You know, they'll push this guy on TV and then push him on TV again and again. Then they'll start telling us that he's a big deal. Well, we probably should have reversed that. All right. Now I get it. There's a little bit of a change circumstances with Jake Doyle going down, and now you got to figure out what to do with him. But the package of Mark Davis, it still lacks something. It lacks something for the audience to connect with. And that is the big thing. You want him to connect with the audience. He comes out in his black tights and the big guy, and he wrestles a big guy style. I don't know what he's about. I don't know. I don't even know what he sounds like. You know, I haven't heard him enough to know what he sounds like on the microphone. I'm trying to figure out, why would I care? If I went to a venue and saw a Mark Davis t-shirt at the stands, why would I want to buy it? You know what I'm saying? What have you done to make me care enough about this guy to want to buy it? So we just need to connect him with the audience. That's the case with so many different people. You know, you put him out there and you start the match, you ring the bell, but do we care about them? Speedball Mike Bailey, do we care about him? Is he great in the ring? Sure. But do we care? You tell me that Kevin Knight is the future of the company. Okay, but that's not, you can't tell me he's the future of the company, so now you have to care. You got to put him in meaningful storylines. You have to put him in meaningful feuds to make me care. You can't just say, here's this guy, care about him. which is what it feels like when you just come out and start saying, he's the future. He's the future. Stop telling me that and just start treating him like that. And then we will start feeling like he is the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that last week. There's no reason to kind of harp on the same thing. A lot of people agree with us. Some people didn't agree with us. I 100% agree with you there. You know, I'm sure we'll have some reactors watching our channel again and dissecting what Jesse said here again this week for another week in a row.
Good.
Yeah, good. Thanks for watching. I agree. You got to build guys like that up through wins. You just can't say it and then have them fucking lose 7 of their 11 matches. Give me a break. But I did, listen, Jake Doyle, he looks great. And I'm sad that he got hurt. And he just got here. Now he's going to be out 6 months. I thought that the pairing actually made sense. You know, Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher were a great tag team. And then Fletcher went on his own, and Davis had to just kind of rummage through garbage until he found Jake Doyle. And they look like a good old-fashioned classic bruiser tag team. And I hope that when they get back together, that there's some sort of focus. Tag team wrestling's great. They got a decent division in AEW if they really want to focus on it. Hasn't been great since FTR won the titles, but, you know, that's another story for a different day. They got something there. So what I'm saying is keep Davis, you know, I don't want to say heat him up, but keep him on the fucking stovetop, on low, on simmer. And wait till Doyle gets back and then do what you got to do there. But this was a predictable match. So we'll pick it up towards the end here. Davis tried a lariat. Page met him. Davis no-sold Page's lariat. Davis then tried to pull Page up into a pile driver, but Page countered into a deadeye for a 2. Davis sidestepped the buckshot. Page tried to skin the cat. Davis caught him, only to fall back over the top to the ramp. Page held on and hit a tombstone. So we go back inside. Page connects with the buckshot, and that's basically what it is for the victory. And that's it. So Adam Page, he advances past this roadblock known as Mark Davis. Mark Davis does not get the $1,000 cash reward from MJF if he took out Adam Page. And Adam Page is going on to Grand Slam Australia. Any thoughts on the match, Jesse, before we get into the Adam Page, Marty Scurll news and discussion?
Nah, I mean,
it is what it is, right?
Yeah, you know, perfect, of course.
So Adam Page was in the news. Actually, you know what? We'll do the promo because the promo was actually I was hoping that Adam Page wouldn't suffer any ramifications from anything that was happening online. And maybe Vegas is just Vegas. Maybe they're just a blah crowd. But post-match, Adam Page took the microphone and said he's stamped his ticket to Grand Slam and he hopes to see Kenny Omega there. Page tells MJF if he wins that match, then at Revolution, he'll stomp every future child out of MJF's little balls and take that title back, a title that he should have never lost. Now, the reaction to this promo was non-receptive. They didn't give Page a babyface welcome or a go get him champ type reaction. It was very like, whatever. And I wonder if what happened on social media and what happened in the recent interview that Page had with Sports Illustrated had anything to do with it. Page and Marty Scurll were photographed together, and I got the photograph right here. Pull it up right here. This was posted to Marty Scurll's Instagram, not Adam Page. Adam Page didn't go out of his way to take a picture of Marty Scurll or endorse Marty Scurll. This is from Marty's social media, his Instagram, okay? So that's that. So apparently, Adam Page was interviewed by John Alba. And we know how we feel about John Alba, but I thought he did a decent enough job to get this out into the public. Now, in my opinion, I think that this is just Sports Illustrated covering for AEW, and they wanted to kind of dead this before it got any worse. So you know how I feel about the media and them shielding AEW when they feel like they need to. But Adam Page was interviewed by John Alba in regards to this picture. Now, if you don't know, Marty Scurll in 2020 was accused of engaging in sexual misconduct with a 16-year-old in the United Kingdom. at a gathering in 2015. So this didn't come to light until 2020. Scurll would claim that both parties were intoxicated, which doesn't make it right. And he believed the encounter was consensual at the time. Now, the age of consent where he is 16. Again, it doesn't make it right. It's just fucking weird. Regardless, he was investigated by Ring of Honor and eventually released from his deal, as at the time he was head booker for Ring of Honor. He has largely remained outside the mainstream pro wrestling scene since. He's not been brought back. In January, Scurll posted a picture with Page outside of a Cracker Barrel, prompting a swell of negativity towards Page for remaining associated with an individual accused of sexual misconduct. So this is where Sports Illustrated comes in and interviews Adam Page. Page noted that he spent nearly half a decade traveling the world with Scurll, and the two grew very close. He said that when the allegations against Scurll emerged, he was in disbelief. The alleged time frame of the encounter, he said, was prior to Page becoming friendly with him. I think when that happened, says Page, I was obviously surprised, shocked. It didn't seem like the person that I knew. But I mean, I knew now that it was, and I guess I was kind of like faced with the choice. Like, what do you do with that information? And I reached out to him then because he had faced a lot of consequences from the public. He had lost his job from Ring of Honor. He was facing consequences from people online. So I checked to see how he's doing, and I remained in touch with him for, since then, maybe 6 years. The two-time AEW World Champion Adam Page noted that despite the sustained relationship, he believes what Scurll is accused of having engaged in is wrong. I guess I kind of will make a couple of things clear about it. I completely recognize that what he did, his actions are abhorrent, disgraceful they are. There's no excuse. I completely recognize that. I have always thought that and will always think about his actions. And I guess as a consequence of his actions, the public has felt strongly about what he did. And for 6 years, I think because of those reactions, he's been unable to be a part of mainstream professional wrestling because you know what the public perception would be. I don't want that photo to seem like some kind of endorsement or have any kind of interest whatsoever in whitewashing what he did or any interest in rehabilitating his public image. None of that is something that I've ever been interested in doing. Not now, not ever. And I think that the consequences of his actions that he's had mostly from the public, aside from like harassment, I think they've been warranted. So I kind of want to make that clear. So he ends with this. If you hear all that and listen to all that and you feel like maybe you wouldn't have done the same thing that you had been in my shoes, or maybe you still feel uncomfortable being a fan of mine, or even if you've lost like the smallest amount of respect for me because of any of that, I would just want to say I completely understand that and I can respect it and accept it. I guess that's who I am. When people treat me with kindness, I try to return it. I have never really wanted to get into that. And that's more or less why I have a private relationship with him. Not out of a sense of self-preservation or shame or something like that, but more or less, I would just never want that to be misconstrued as like an endorsement or an effort to rehabilitate someone's public image. So I sent this article to Jesse because I told him ahead of time that we were going to talk about this because it is big news in regards to AEW. I'm assuming Tony Khan didn't like when the picture was posted. I mean, he can't really have any control of what Marty Scurll does, but I'm assuming Tony Khan didn't want the picture out there. He didn't want that image for AEW. He's probably upset at Hangman Page. I don't know if it's going to have an effect on his push on television. We don't know. But I'm sure nobody there was happy that the picture emerged. So I'll give Jesse the floor here before I read on some of the notes I had jotted down during the day. Jesse, what do you think about this entire thing?
All right, so let's look at this at its core. All right, and let's start off with what happened with Marty Scurll. All right, and let me preface this for those who might not know. I myself have a 16-year-old daughter. All right. So right away, even if I didn't, I would still be, but I'm already disgusted by what he did. All right. And it's not right. It's not illegal where he did it, but that does not make it morally right. And those are the morals that we have here in this country, which is where Marty would want to work if he had his way. So that being said, he's going to have to deal with the fallout, because where he wants to work, people do not want to be associated with someone who's been accused of messing with someone underage, and unless you're president. So I get it, but Hangman still being friends with the guy, I don't think that's a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal at all. I don't think that you should sit there and just try to get mad at somebody for remaining friends. Hangman has made it clear he doesn't approve of what Marty did.
No, he even said it too, multiple times.
Yeah, he doesn't approve of what he did. He's not on board with that shit, but a good friend is a good friend. I mean, so to meet up with a guy, have lunch, and take a picture, that's being a friend. I don't see Hangman trying to lobby to get him into the company. I don't see Hangman trying to lobby to get him in another job in pro wrestling. He's just being a friend. And I literally see nothing wrong with that. I think people have just taking this cancel culture bullshit way too far. The man didn't do anything. Marty Scurll understands why he's being blackballed everywhere. He understands. He gets it. He's not on this campaign to try to get it lifted. He's doing him. And he went out and had lunch with a friend, and you guys are making that a big goddamn deal. You know, whoever the people are that are making it a big deal. I mean, the guy's just trying to he's trying to live what his new life is. He thought he was going to be a major wrestling star across the world. That is not anymore, because of his own actions and because of his own decisions. It's not a good idea to bring anybody to your room intoxicated and have a sexual relationship with them, no matter what their age is. You know what I'm saying? So that alone is already a problem. But then the age makes it even worse. But he gets that. And he's just trying to be him. And he wouldn't even be here had he not posted a picture of them having lunch or dinner or whatever it was. I don't think this is a big deal. I don't understand why it's a big deal. We all understand. We all know where we stand. We get it. All right. But that doesn't mean that he can't have friends. That doesn't mean that, oh, if you're friends with him, then you're a piece of crap. That's not what that means. He was friends with this man long before this incident. I don't want to see a reason why he wouldn't be friends with him. I understand that he's not trying to promote him. He understands he's not trying to put him over. He's not trying to get him back in the industry. He took a picture and people are taking that and running with it. I personally wonder how many of these people who have this problem with it was A-okay with Triple H standing right next to the guy that has his name mentioned 5,300 times in the Epstein files. I wonder. Yeah. Because it's hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? Look, if you feel like you don't want to endorse Marty Scurll, if you don't want to pay to go watch him wrestle, if you don't want to buy his merchandise, then don't. But you can't sit here and tell him that he's not allowed to have friends anymore. What are we talking about here? He just took a picture with his damn friend. I don't see the big deal in this. I genuinely don't.
Yeah, I don't think the reaction is about Page personally. I don't think Page did anything wrong. It's about people, you know, they feel the need to be rejected publicly, loudly, and without any wiggle room whatsoever. Cancel culture. They wanted Page to go scorch earth on this. And the fact that he didn't, now everybody's got to feel their wrath because it's social justice and no other way on social media. You know, the problem is this type of stuff that Marty Scurll is being accused of. You know, the conversation is happening now during a time where abuse and exploitation are very much back in the public eye with this Epstein shit going on and the stories you hear coming out on social media and the emails that you keep seeing everywhere. I understand people's tolerance for that may be zero. And I get it. It's fucking disgusting. What Marty Scurll did was disgusting. But yes, if you look at the situation here, as far as Adam Page, I want you to look at Adam Page and feel for Adam Page here and just think about what Adam Page may be thinking. He's being asked to publicly answer for a relationship that predates a lot of what we know now. That's number one. He didn't commit any wrongdoing. That's number two. He's navigating something deeply uncomfortable in a public forum where all this stuff is usually punished in the public eye. And his response from what he said doesn't come off as defensive. He wasn't dismissive. He wasn't angry. It reads as someone trying to acknowledge reality without throwing gasoline on the fire here. So what would you like him to do? He's done everything he needed to do, and he's covered all his tracks. He's kept it private. He's kept it very personal. You know, you can't go out there and tell Page who to be friends with and who not to be friends with. Like Jesse said, he's not lobbying to get this guy back in the business. He's not lobbying to get him back in AEW at all. He knows the mistakes that he's made, and he's going to keep it at that. But if he wants to have a personal relationship with the guy, no matter what he's been accused of, that's on him. That should have no effect on his career, no effect on his booking or anything. That's what he wants to do, just like you are going to believe what you want to believe in, who you want to vote for, how you want to go politically, and so on and so forth. We all have our own things that we need to do for ourselves. This is what he wants to do. So I don't really understand the big deal about it.
No. I mean, if anything, I'm looking at Hangman as a true goddamn friend.
Yeah,
times are fucking hard, you know, for Marty Scurll, and it's his own fault. It's his own fault, and he fucking deserves it. But if he needs to turn to his real friends for some kind of emotional support, I would expect they should be there for him. All right. I mean, that's all they need to do. Pick up a phone, go have lunch. You know what I'm saying? Just be an ear. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how do we know that Hangman's not sitting there trying to talk this guy into straightening out his ways and then never doing something like that ever again? He's probably already on that page. I mean, look, they're friends and that's it. He's not endorsing him. He's not sitting there trying to blow sunshine up anybody's ass. Oh, he's really a good guy, guys. You got to give him a break.
No.
You gotta, come on. It's okay. No.
He didn't do any of that.
No. I mean, people need to relax a little bit, man.
He's not defending the behavior. I don't think he underestimated how unforgiving the current situation is with Marty Scurll. And I understand that the pro wrestling landscape, you know, there's a lot of bad shit that happens in pro wrestling and has happened in pro wrestling. A lot of bad actors, right? Accused of this, accused of that. I could see why fans are frustrated because it always gets delayed. All these consequences usually get delayed, or in worst case, they get swept under the rug. But I don't understand why people are overreacting to this, honestly. The only thing that people are upset about is that the fact he treated it like an actual human issue. And the internet hates that because they don't think with a rational thought process. Everything is just social justice, and these faceless accounts feel like they can say and do whatever they want. And they live on social media where it's not real life. This is his real life. This is private. This is personal. He's handling it the way that it needs to. And when confronted with it in a public platform like Sports Illustrated, I thought he handled himself well. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. He did great, man. I do not think this is any kind of major news. I know it's news. I don't think this should be news. I think this has already gotten bigger than it needed to be.
Yeah.
You know, I saw the picture and said, oh shit, look at that. It's Marty. And I moved on.
I know, me too. I didn't think anything of it. Okay,
that was
whatever.
Oh, look at that. You're in the Marty. Oh, they went and had lunch. That's cool.
Yeah,
what else?
This growing expectation of if you're close to somebody that did something terrible, now all of a sudden you have to separate from that person because social media is going to think, you know, what they want to think about you. That's not how human relationships work. You ghouls on social media. That's how social justice works, and we're not about that. So good on Adam Page for sticking up for his friend and kind of giving the best answer he could on Sports Illustrated. So that was in the story there. And again, nobody should take us out of context. We are not looking at Marty Scurll and saying, okay, man, let's come back. No, what he did was fucking deplorable. And what I've been reading lately on social media with these Epstein files is fucking deplorable.
My God, man.
Everybody that you know as far as a Hollywood actor or a musician, man, you're going to think a lot differently about your government and the people that you idolize. Seriously, get with the program. It's not good right now.
Yes, we have covered the Marty Scurll issue 6 years ago.
Yeah.
When it happened, we gave our thoughts on it. It's still there in the archives. Pull up the shit from back in 2020. Marty has done nothing new or anything different as of late. He's living his damn life. He's accepted his new role in pro wrestling, which is non-existent. And all the man did was take a picture with a friend, and now he's trending.
Yeah.
All right. It's ridiculous. It's done. Nothing new has happened. Okay.
So that's the story there. We get back into the show here. Andrade and Kenny Omega. They started at 9 o'clock. They had a countdown for it throughout the show. I like that they made this a big deal because this was the first time that they've wrestled since Triple Mania in 2021. So we'll pick it up after the commercial break here. This is for the right to wrestle Adam Page at Grand Slam Australia. So Andrade, he does a springboard torneo. He's posing with these lovely ladies at ringside. I think he may be onto something here, bro. He's got his own section of yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to put it in that way, sure. He's got his own little VIP section. Well, classier way to put it there, does Andrade. So he's out there with his ladies. Andrade tried a double springboard moonsault. Omega was ready for it. Typical Andrade, but he seen it coming, got the boots up. Omega charge, missed the V-trigger. Andrade pounced with a figure four into a bridge, causing Omega to roll over, and Andrade scrambled to the ropes. So they both trade strikes on their knees and rise to exchange some forearms until Omega spiked Andrade with multiple Snapdragon suplexes. Omega went for a third one. Andrade escaped, only to be sent into the corner. Set him up perfectly for a V-trigger. Omega then wanted an avalanche one-winged angel, but Andrade reversed it into a sunset bomb and a rich clutch DDT, spiking Omega for a 2. So Callis is burying Aubrey Edwards on commentary, saying that she can't count. And Andrade then hit the Meteora in the corner. He goes for another near fall, only gets a 2 count out of it. Omega avoided the finish. I don't know what Andrade is calling it. He used to call it the message. So I don't know what he's calling it now.
I've already named it.
What is it?
It is the non-compete clause.
All right. He went for the non-compete clause. And then leading to another chop battle, Andrade chopped Omega in the face. Both trade big boots, V-triggers. Omega went for a big shot here, only to run into a spinning back elbow. Signature Andrade. Aubrey went to check on Omega. This allowed Don Callis to throw a screwdriver into the ring for Andrade to use to get the win. So Callis then distracted Aubrey. Andrade went for the screwdriver shot. Swerve Strickland immediately surfaced and ran down and took the screwdriver from Andrade. Aubrey was then distracted by Swerve. This allowed Andrade to hit a low blow on Omega and get the spinning neck breaker, which is his finish, for the 1, 2, 3. And Andrade, Jesse, gets the shock victory. Some people, it may not be shocking, but I thought it was shocking, over Kenny Omega.
I didn't think it was shocking. I think they got Andrade on this win streak, on this high end win streak. He's beating top tier names.
Oh, he calls it the DM. Does that mean like DM, like Instagram or Twitter DM, like private message, direct message?
Yeah, I think he does call it that. But I think the non-compete clause fits so well. We got to get a message to Andrade. Yeah.
So it wasn't shocking to you.
No, not overly. I think they are working on building him up, and I think they're doing a good job at it. All right, they want to make him a big deal. They want to make him a mainstay at the top of the card, and they're giving them solid wins against solid names, and that is the way you do it. You know, and so in the same vein that I want them to do Brody King like this, I'm gonna make sure I put this over. This is how you book someone that you're trying to book as a big star. Andrade is well deserving. He never made it to world champion at WWE level. I know he did in NXT, but not in the main roster. And he didn't make it at the top of the card in AEW's first run of his. So I think they're trying to right that wrong and get him at the top of the card where he belongs. They're doing a good job at it.
Yeah, this is where he should have been in WWE, or at least trending in that direction in WWE. I don't know what the fuck they were doing with him there. You know, a I'll pose this question to you, Jesse, because I feel like, and I mentioned this on TNT last night with Jason, I feel like with Tommaso Ciampa winning the TNT title, and I love Ciampa. We both love Ciampa. He's great. And he was the face of Black and Gold. And Triple H has had his time with Rey Fenix and Rusev and Malachi or Aleister Black, and they've gone nowhere. Rey Fenix was eliminated in 90 seconds in the Royal Rumble. Rusev was eliminated in legitimately 60 seconds. Maybe less than that, 30 seconds. They haven't done anything since jumping ship back to the WWE. Do you get a sense that with both Tommaso Ciampa and Andrade, it's lighting a fire more so under Tony Khan to book them better, knowing that the way Triple H booked them, just to kind of throw it in his face saying, I got these guys back. Now I'm going to show you how to really book them. Do you get it? Do you get that sense with both of them?
So, in the vein of giving him the benefit of the doubt, why are you signing people to do nothing with them?
I don't know.
So
you mean Triple H? You mean Triple H?
No, I'm talking about Tony Khan. But I'm like, why? And like, why would you want to sign someone and then do nothing with them? So that being said, you pick up Ciampa. Then what is your plan? Do something with him. What is your plan? You made him champion. Okay. You got Andrade back. Well, what is your plan? What do you plan on doing with him? Well, he's on a hot streak. He's on the, he's at the top of the card. Like, okay. So I don't know if it's necessarily I'm going to show them. I mean, I'm going to put the rocket pack on them. Or if it's him saying, if I'm going to sign these fucking people, why don't I make sure I use them actually? Because he's doing that. He signed Jake Doyle. And right away, he started doing something with Jake Doyle. Something. Get that? See what I did there?
Yeah.
He started doing something with him right away. His recent signing. So now we got the Rascals. The Rascals were brought in, 3/4 of them. And I'm also looking to see what he's going to do with them. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're going to sign these people, if you're going to put graphics up and you're going to say, I got these people, my next question is, what are you doing with them? Because tell me you didn't sign them to go put them in catering. You didn't sign them as jobbers.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, listen, you're not wrong. I mean, why are you signing people if you're not going to use them in a meaningful way? I get it. But look at what happened to Rey Fenix. Look what happened to Rusev. Look what happened to Malachi. It's like, the fuck are they doing there?
I'm not going to lie. I know I told you this about a week or two ago, but I told you I did not want to tell you what the topic was because I wanted your genuine reaction. Remember when I said that?
Yeah.
The topic was, and it probably still will be, I think I might do this for like Patreon or something like that.
Yep.
Is talent that has jumped ship from AEW or from WWE to the other side, who's been booked stronger and how many people have been booked strong versus how many people have been essentially buried. Just answering the age-old question, is the grass actually greener on the other side? Whichever side you might decide is greener or not. I did want to break down the talent, all of the talent that has left. Everybody from Cody, everybody to the Lucha Bros, everybody to Adam Cole, everybody that has jumped ship for greener pastures. Were the pastures actually greener? Because I'm thinking there's a bigger story to look at here than just, see, they want to go to the big time and they got to the big time and the time wasn't so big. Or if they wanted to go where the big boys wrestle and all that other shit and they get there, then they're not wrestling. You know what I'm saying? It's a pretty good story to tell.
Well, I think the two guys that jump off, I mean, Cody's a given. I mean, he's the biggest babyface in the industry. But, you look at Penta, he's not being booked great, but he's not being booked terribly. I mean, he's better than Phoenix. And the only other one that stands out to me as far as a defection is Ethan Page. I think Ethan Page is doing great. Ethan Page has made his star bigger by leaving AEW. He may be the biggest outside Cody right now. And Ricky Saints should be there. But I don't really get a sense that Ricky Saints now is, I don't know if he's on TV every week, but is he more valuable now than he was then?
Is he on SmackDown or something?
Ricky Saints or Ethan Page?
Either one.
No, they're still in NXT.
Because I watch NXT about as much as I watch ROH.
Yeah, they're both still on NXT.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good topic. It's not bad.
It is, and maybe something that maybe we will get into next time that we have the time to sit and record some stuff.
Yeah. Renee was backstage with Chris Statlander. Tekla is getting Jesse. Tekla is getting a rematch for the AEW Women's Championship. We may be looking at World Champion Tekla next week. But I have to say, I don't watch Saturday Night's Collision. I mean, I don't even know if you watched this past Saturday's Collision, but I like Statlander's getup tonight. Did you see what she was wearing?
Did I see what Chris Statlander was wearing?
She looked like a character. Like, I like the getup instead of just being out there being Chris Statlander, AEW Women's Champion. She had this, like, I don't know, it was like this cosmic like armor on. I don't know what it was, but it looked good.
I will never forgive them for what they did to Chris Statlander.
What'd they do?
When they turned her baby face.
All right, man. You're beating a dead horse now.
No, I will continue beating this fucking horse. So, I was talking about this earlier on my stream. I would like them to make Chris Statlander and her title run a lot more meaningful, because it feels like it's falling a little flat.
Yeah, it's simmered out after beating Mercedes and Toni Storm, huh?
It really has. And I don't want that to be. I don't want that at the end of this story they say, well, we gave Stat the opportunity and she didn't capitalize. I would like them to do a little bit more with Chris Statlander. I am highly interested in this Chris Statlander Tekla feud. They have great chemistry in the ring, and they perform well, and I do like this feud, but I just want more substance to it, if that makes any sense. I want a real damn feud out of Chris Statlander. Something, when I say real feud, Miranda and Toni Storm. Okay, that's what I want. I want to feel like that they really fucking hate each other. And when I see Chris Statlander cut interviews like this with Renee, I just feel like she's reading a prompter behind the camera. All right, I don't feel like that she really hates this woman and can't wait to kick her ass. Same with Tekla. Yes, Tekla. Tekla's great. Got a great look. Tekla is the surprise addition to the AEW women's locker room that I did not know that they needed. I mean, Tekla is phenomenal at what she does, man. I want to see more story out of her. You can see a little bit more personality coming out of her, though, in her promos. Are you catching that?
Yeah.
Tekla, it does feel a little bit more organic versus what we first got from her. But out of the both of them, I just want to see actually something with some substance to it. Why do you want to kill her? Why? What happened? I mean, just give me more than just she has the title and I won it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the women's division right now is the coldest that it's been in several months. There's no real tension between anybody. There's no real dialogue between anybody. And the focus has been as kindergarten as possible. It's like, you're the champion and I want a championship match. It's basically what it's boiled down to. And you're not going to generate interest there. For months, Jesse, these women have been feuding, and they've never given us a reason as to why. Where did it start? What was the reason why all of this got started? What's the issue? We didn't even get an issue or an explanation as to why Mega Bad, Megan Bayne, and Penelope Ford even started teaming together. Where did they come from? We're still waiting on that. None of this feels hot. Everything just feels randomly thrown together for the sake of throwing matches out there to fill segments on TV. And that's the way I genuinely feel about it. And I don't care about any of the stuff that they're doing. And I don't care about the women's tag team titles after they made such a big deal about them. They're right exactly where I knew they would be. And that is, I don't want to say they're irrelevant, but they certainly don't feel important.
No, they really don't.
So the Babes of Wrath here, TBS champion Willow Nightingale. She's the TBS champion, which now that's taken a back seat because she's the tag team champion. Instead of putting the TBS title on someone like Tekla, who could actually do something to enhance the championship, it's on Willow. So her and Harley Cameron are the tag team champions against Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Megan Bayne actually got some promo time here, and I was surprised to hear her speak. And quite honestly, Jesse, I don't think she should speak.
Why isn't she speaking? She speaks. Ooh, she shouldn't.
No, we need to work on that there. So we'll pick it up after the commercial break. Willow is being worked over here. Ford was launched by Willow via a pounce. Harley makes a hot tag. Sling blades on Penelope. And they both trade standing switches until Harley Cameron got a big pump handle suplex. Goes for a cover, gets a 2 count. High kick connected by Harley Cameron. Ford answered with a big forearm. So Mega Bad tried a delayed vertical suplex, but Harley countered into a double DDT. Bayne got the worst of it, but she recovered first, and she goes up top. She was cut off as Nightingale joined her and Harley and hit a double superplex on Megan Bayne. So Penelope flew in with a double blockbuster from the top, leaving everyone down. Tilt-a-whirl DDT spiked Megan Bayne again. Nightingale followed with a big spine buster. Megan Bayne kicked out. 2 count. Ford saved her partner. Bayne launched her into Nightingale for an assisted cutter. Mega Bad then took out Harley Cameron with their own version of a doomsday device. And they got the 1, 2, 3. So the tag team champions, Jesse, as well as the TBS women's champion, lose an eliminator match. And then Excalibur gets on commentary and says, it's rare that these eliminator matches are paid off. But it did tonight, and we're told Mega Bad is getting a tag team title match at Grand Slam after this victory. I hate that the champions have to lose to get a championship match for the challengers. And on top of that, you had the TBS champion losing. It's double whammy. No mas. Not good, bro.
Champions not winning today, are they?
No, I feel like they did it just to kind of prove a point. Like, look, they do work. We're doing them for a reason. No, it doesn't matter. They're still shit. I can't stand these championship contender matches, these eliminator matches. I don't like it.
Where's Taz? Where was Taz tonight?
Maybe he's got a thing against Vegas, bro. I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Where's Brian? Brian hasn't been on commentary in weeks. What happened to him?
Well, he was just a fill-in for Taz, though, wasn't he?
Oh, was he? I don't know.
So where is Taz then?
I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Anyway, we got a TNT title match announcement for Tommaso Ciampa after beating Briscoe in a 19-minute match. Of course, it had to go the 20 minutes. So we go backstage. Ciampa's holding. Bro, you remember Goldie?
Yeah.
Now he's got Sylvie.
I caught that. Continuity.
He got Sylvie. Look at this motherfucker, man. Love it. So Ciampa's holding the TNT title, saying out of respect to the title and to Mark Briscoe, he's going to carry on the tradition of the open challenge. I wish he didn't, but this is AEW, and I would not expect any less. So open challenges continue on Collision in Vegas on Saturday. He won't be hard to find. Then he kisses the title and says, Sylvie loves her new home and isn't going away for a very long time. So apparently, we have a open challenge on Saturday. It will be Tommaso Ciampa in a triple threat match against Roderick Strong and Claudio Castagnoli. Couldn't just give me 1 versus 1. They had to throw 2 of them in there?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Here's what it is. Ciampa's great.
I don't like seeing Ciampa without a title. Because when he has a title, he is just on a different goddamn level. I could sit there and watch Ciampa promos in the back with a chair, a camera, and a title all day long.
Yeah.
That can be a 2-hour wrestling broadcast as far as I'm fucking concerned.
Yeah.
I hope they got big plans for him. Even if he does nothing more than remain champion at this level, I'll take that because he's gonna make that so fucking interesting. I can't wait to see what he does here.
Yeah, the fact that he's holding the TNT title and they feel a need to have the TNT title defended on TNT, I hate that aspect. Like, I want to see Ciampa on Dynamite. Nobody wants to watch Saturday Night's Collision. You're gonna get me to watch Collision, aren't you?
That's if I gotta tune in to see Ciampa, then that's what I'll be doing, man.
Yeah, I'll watch. I'll wait for the highlights on YouTube. Anyway, moving on from that, Ricochet versus Jungle Jack Perry. This is for the AEW International, National Championship.
I had no idea you said it wrong just now.
Yeah, I know, me neither. Ricochet comes out there. Gates of Agony accompany him. He tells them to go to the back. Nobody gave anyone a reaction. They did the little wave for Jungle Boy, and that's the extent of it. This is a heatless match for a heatless championship. And I don't know. Does anybody care here? Jesse, do you care about the national championship? Do you care about this ongoing issue between Ricochet and Jack Perry? And if not, why?
I do not, because there are too many. Let's start with this. There's too many titles in AEW. There's just too many championships. It's hard to keep track of who's carrying what and why and how they got it. So it makes it even harder to care. I just see a title. I see a belt. They come out, they have a belt. Oh, this person has a belt. So now I'm supposed to care about the match because there's a belt on the line. That's not how it works. It's not the physical being of the title. A title is for all the gold or silver or white gold or whatever it is you use to make it. The title is meaningless. It's meaningless to a wrestling fan until you give it meaning. You have to make it important. MJF made Triple B the most valuable title that has ever existed because I felt that he felt that way when he was talking about it and defending it and just everything else about it. These people are just carrying a championship belt around. No different from that dude in the front row who's holding a championship belt that he bought. You know what I'm saying? It only has value when the competitors give it value. Otherwise, it's just a prop. And I don't feel anything about any of these titles right now.
Well, chat, what did I say a few weeks ago, or maybe a few months ago? Ricochet went at me on social media for whatever reason. And, I have been very vocal about the national championship being created. I didn't think it was necessary. Jesse's absolutely correct that there's too many championships in AEW. They simply created this championship so that they could put it on Ricochet because the company doesn't see him at any other level but where he is right now. Maybe that changes. We don't know. And they wanted to make him seem like he was more important than he really is. So let's put a title on him that has absolutely no backstory, no lineage, no importance, no value, no prestige. And the company is so void of any common logic that they think that with the way this man has been booked, which has been middle of the road, nothing really spectacular, nothing important, that all of that is going to make this championship feel important. The championship is not going to make Ricochet feel important. It's the creative that you put into Ricochet, which then he puts into the championship, that's going to make it feel important. And you've done nothing. You failed everyone. So how am I supposed to care about this championship if you've done nothing to put any effort into Ricochet so that he could make the championship important? Again, tell me when I'm telling any sort of lie here.
Yep, it's true.
So why would anybody care about this? Like, Jack Perry is only in this because he's got nothing to do because Luchasaurus is hurt. And Ricochet, we can sit here and talk about Ricochet and how he's, better off here or better off there, which we'll get into in a little bit. But, I don't get a sense that he is making a difference in any which way at all. And he's a great fucking pro wrestler. But he's just like everybody else. He just blends into the company. And he doesn't really do anything that stands out. He did when he went heel the first time, but now I just feel like Jesse said, this whole Gates of Agony thing, the demand. What is the whole idea here? He was supposed to help them get over. They were supposed to be his muscle. I feel like we're at a dead end road here, bro. Nothing's working.
Yep, it's not. It's sincerely not. I think they realized this when they did this very same thing with Swerve, and they broke him away and put him with Nana and made him a singles guy. And look at him now. This whole thing with GOA is going nowhere. No one is any better. GOA is not a better tag team, and Ricochet is not a better singles guy. So what are we doing here?
I don't know. We will see here. Jack Perry and Ricochet will pick it up after the break. Perry wanted a big knee. Ricochet dodged both trade schoolboy attempts. Perry eventually sank in the snare trap. Ricochet tried the ropes. Perry repositioned to the center of the ring. GOA eventually run out. Khan distracted the referee, Rick Knox. This allowed Toa Leona to pull Ricochet to the ropes. Knox saw the rope break as then the Young Bucks walked out, smacked Bishop Khan in the back with the chair as Nick took out Leona with a dive off the ramp. All of this was happening. Ricochet placed the national championship in the corner, dodged the diving Jack Perry, planted him face first onto the title. Ricochet hit Vertigo and gets the 1, 2, 3. So it looks like we may be heading towards a Young Bucks, Jack Perry, Ricochet, and GOA six-man tag team party match next week. Or worse yet, a 2-on-2 tag team match with the Bucks and GOA, which doesn't sound exciting at all, but that's where we're going, bro. The Young Bucks are back, and they got the tassels ready to go.
There we go.
There we go. So yeah.
Them and FTR, right?
Eventually, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So Ricochet was in the news, and apparently he said getting called up to WWE Raw was the worst thing for my career. Now, he went on a social media tirade today, and he said the version of him and his character right now that we're getting in AEW is the continuation of the Ricochet who was a favorite in Japan and on the independent scene. As for those 5 years after signing in 2018 and getting a brief run in NXT, Ricochet uses the Marvel universe as an analogy on social media. You've seen the Marvel movies? Thanos snaps, and there was a 5-year blip of people who were just gone. Those 5 years were like blipped away into a different universe. It just wasn't what I was doing. It wasn't me. Coming back to AEW and finding that love, it's like when Tony Stark finally defeated Thanos and all those people came back. That's how I feel. Ricochet finally came back to what he was doing, and I feel like that 5 years was just blipped away. So he took it a step further, Jesse. He went on social media and said this in multiple tweets. He says in one statement to somebody, he says, and I quote, "I already know how this is going to sound, and I already know how people are going to take this, but I think the day we got called up to Raw was the worst thing that happened to Ricochet's wrestling career. That 5 years really tarnished Ricochet's wrestling legacy." Now, I don't disagree that they botched him on the main roster.
Right.
But, you know, you look at his NXT run, Jesse, when we were watching Black and Gold on the network for 1 hour. Ricochet was the North American champion. He was having banger matches down there with Gargano and Adam Cole and Malachi and Velveteen Dream. I mean, he seemed to be happy there. But then he gets called up to the main roster, which arguably I shit all over because they called him and Johnny Gargano up at the same time, and it was a moment that Vince had it in for Triple H. NXT was fucking red hot. Vince tried to do everything to kill NXT, and Ricochet and Gargano outside Ciampa were the two hottest acts down there. So he called him up, and it was a sink or swim type of thing. I want to see what my son-in-law is really doing. Let me take his two top guys right now down there and throw them into the deep end and see how they swim on the main roster. That's what Vince did. That's what his mentality was. So if Ricochet is sitting here upset over the last 5 years where he predominantly worked for Vince McMahon, who predominantly buried him for most of his run out there, bro, you using your Vince McMahon derangement syndrome is an unfair comparison to really just go and trash your WWE career. Honestly, I don't look at that as, you know, Ricochet needing to go on social media and complain. Bro, we were all there with you complaining. Like, you don't need to act like Tony Khan's spokesman because you're working for Tony Khan now. We understood the whole vibe of what you were doing there. Bro, he had matches with Mustafa Ali. He had matches with Sami Zayn, Ilya Dragunov, Gunther. I mean, it's not like his main roster run was void of great matches. So, right. You know, he's representing a company he clearly thinks is the best place for him. And he follows up with this, and then I'll give you the floor to talk about this. He says, same thing is happening to Finn Balor. Shinsuke Nakamura, Apollo Crews, and many others. WWE kills legacies and love of the sport. It's what they do best. And asked why people signed with WWE, then Ricochet said because it was a childhood dream. So they want to see for themselves. Plus, lots of people like fame, and it is the biggest company, so you'll be more famous. I tried to quit. They didn't give me my release. They didn't want me to leave. What do you think of what he said here in regards to his WWE run?
He's not entirely wrong.
No.
He's really not. I'm just trying to figure out where this is coming from. He's been gone for years. He's doing better now. What are we bringing this up now?
Bro, I mean, I could end this argument with one sentence. Is it really that bad when he met his wife in the company?
No. I mean, it's not. His
whole life changed by meeting her there.
Yeah. But it has nothing to do with the way he was booked, though. I mean, that's, So, I mean, why is this a concern of his today? Or whenever he mentioned
Well, why is he speaking up for Finn Balor, Nakamura, and Apollo Crews? How does he know they feel that way?
Who's to say he's not friends with these guys, talking to them?
Sure, but I mean, he shouldn't be speaking for them publicly.
He should not be. He should not be. I don't know why this is called being brought up right now by him. But the way he was booked on the main roster was criminal. I mean, it was absolutely criminal. But again, this is such old news. I'm trying to figure out why he cares about the way he was booked all of a sudden now. I mean, this is so fucking old. But yeah, in NXT he was booked great, and yeah, he was caught up in that vortex of being brought up to the main roster when Vince didn't really care for NXT. And even after that, he was still booked in like shit for years. And I mean, I get it. He's not wrong, but I just don't understand why he needs to bring this up now. I mean, was this a directive from someone above him to bring this up now? Was he speaking to friends in the E? I mean, why did he wake up this morning or that morning and say, you know what? I don't like how I was booked on the main roster. I'm going to start tweeting about it. Send.
Ricochet is not as big as he was if he was in the WWE, no matter how he was booked. He's not. He's working for a smaller promotion. He's not anywhere in the public limelight. He's not in anything major. He's just another guy, another face on that roster that they have thousands of anyway. At least in WWE, he stood out. But, you left right as Triple H took over. Most of your bad memories are with Vince. Now, that's not to say Triple H ain't fucking up, because he certainly is. And Triple H has fucking fumbled many a talent already, and he's not even been doing this for 3 years. But you can't use this as a way to shit on the company because of how you felt about Vince when we all felt the same pain you did. What point is it to make it a big deal now?
Yeah. Yeah, what's the point?
Your NXT run was goated. Like, what are you complaining about? You were never as big as when you were in NXT, ever. And that's WWE. Correct me if I'm wrong. When Ricochet achieves the heights that he had in NXT, someone let me know. Because right now he hasn't. So to me, his WWE run, NXT, is still the best thing he's done in his entire career. Facts. And nobody's going to tell me otherwise because I bled black and gold. And I saw Ricochet. And I saw Ricochet on the indies. And no one's going to tell me otherwise.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know why he woke up all of a sudden and start crying about shit that went on 3-4 years ago.
Let's get Samantha in AEW and hopefully things turn around. You want to be the fucking talent that you think you are? Hopefully she can help just be a beautiful, accent to what you got going on there. We'll see, because she's already making tweets and she's making these speculative comments that she's going to be the best manager in all of wrestling. We'll see. We'll see. We all know she's coming in.
I heard that she was slapped with a non-compete clause as well.
I think she had, when did she leave? 40? Bro, 3-year non-compete, I believe she had.
Why?
I don't know.
Just why?
I don't know.
And how was that even legal?
I don't know. Gabe Kidd is on TV. He had 2 segments tonight.
Yes.
Clark Connors had 2 segments tonight. Who?
I have no idea.
Apparently, I mean, I some background on Clark Connors. Like, I heard of Clark Connors, but some background on him, please. A vignette, a promo, a fucking comment from Excalibur. Apparently, Jesse, Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors, I didn't even go over this in my notes before, they threw Darby Allin, attacked him in the parking lot, threw him into the back of a trunk of their rental car. They drive to the Vegas desert here in this segment. So they're in the production truck, and they have the production crew held hostage, and they tell them to roll the video that they made. So we cut to a handheld cell phone video of Darby Allin in a body bag tied to the back of the car being dragged in the Vegas desert. So they unzip the body bag, and they leave him alone in the desert, and they drive away. Do you care at all about Darby now moving on from the Death Riders and now still feuding with Gabe Kidd, who's like an assailant of the Death Riders, supposedly, and now Clark Connors?
I don't care about Gabe Kidd, and I don't even know who Clark Connors is. And I think that's a problem. And that goes back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier ago. You want me to care about what's going on, but you're doing a poor job at telling me what's going on. All right. I don't even know who half these people are that you're I know who Darby is. I love Darby. I don't want him to be stranded in the desert. I really don't. But it's not that important because that didn't even close the show. It would seem to me that should be a big cliffhanger. And maybe that should have been the last thing that we saw to make people say, hey, if you want to find out what happened to Darby, better tune in next week. No, the last thing I saw was MJF getting pummeled around the ring. So no, it is hard to care about what Darby is doing when you don't really care about who Darby is involved with. So yeah, that's a problem. And I thought Darby was more important than that to them.
You know, where we talked about the World Championship title picture and we need more top guys in the title scene. Why is Darby fucking around with these 2 nobodies? Seriously. Shouldn't he be in the mix for the World Championship?
Main eventer, top babyface right there.
What are we doing?
No clue.
This is a waste of television time and nobody's going to be better off for it. Plain and simple. Main event
Darby,
here. Yeah,
Darby is beloved by your younger audience. All right. I mean, he is the favorite guy. I mean, your younger kids, they love Darby. I got a godson, I got nieces and nephews. They love Darby. They don't even know much about AEW, but they know Darby. They love Darby Allin. And they're not doing anything of interest with him. Shame on them.
Main event, MJF, Brody King, AEW Men's World Title Eliminator. The bell rings. As soon as the bell rings, Adam Page's music hit. MJF turns his attention to the ramp. Brody King was right behind MJF, choked him out with a hanging sleeper. Basically, you know, he was the originator of this, so if you guys need any visual, just remember what Gunther did to Dragon Lee on Monday night. Basically the same thing. Hanging sleeper off the apron, caused him to crumble. Brody quickly brought MJF back inside, hit the corner cannonball, gonzo bomb, and that's it. Squashed like a cockroach was MJF. 1, 2, 3. He wins the Eliminator, now is the #1 contender for the AEW World Championship. Post-match, Brody held up the AEW title. He stood over MJF. Andrade rushed to the ring and attacked Brody from behind with a spinning back elbow. Andrade picked up MJF and spiked him with his DM finish before Page ran down and hit Andrade with the buckshot. Page wanted another buckshot on MJF, but MJF kicked him low. Brody recovered and hit another gonzo bomb on MJF, holding up the title, and he stood tall as the show went off the air.
Non-compete clause.
Well, Jesse, besides the non-compete clause, yes, he hit him with the non-compete. You know, we talked about this in full in the beginning. I don't want to rehash myself because I don't think I could make any more sense than I already did in the beginning of the show. If they wanted Brody to be in the mix, then you should have put him in the mix. Now you had him squash the world champion, which I don't give a fuck who the world champion is. You shouldn't be squashing a world champion. And in this instance, MJF has only had 2 matches. This was his second match since winning the world championship and is already squashed. Now, sure, Brody is a lot bigger and a lot stronger than MJF, and by default, he should look dominant. But you put yourself in a position and you backed yourself into a corner where you made this stupid fucking eliminator match, and now you had to prove a point by him squashing the world champion, MJF, just so that you can convince us that he's right for the world championship match. Meanwhile, you should have put him in a series of matches along with these other guys to do exactly what they were doing, and that is win. We shouldn't be looking at Andrade. We shouldn't be looking at Kenny Omega or Adam Page. Brody should have went through all of them, went to Grand Slam, beat Andrade or Adam Page, whoever went there, and got the pay-per-view match with MJF, and then lose. At least he would have been built up through wins. He would have looked dominant. He would have had wins over several top guys and then lose to the top guy in MJF. He would have been built. He would have lost the match anyway, and it would have taken a little bit more to get there, which would have been a little bit more meaningful. Yet we beat the world champion in legitimately 90 seconds, bro. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and we've touched on it, and I'm sure MJF was, you know, on board with,
sure,
you know, helping to get, you know, fellow man over and Brody King. You know what I'm saying? He's a really good dude, you know, and he's bulletproof, MJF. I mean, he's this is not gonna hurt him. And he knows that. Everybody involved knows that this loss is not gonna hurt him. Plus, when MJF came back, he pretty much buried the entire top of the fucking card. You know, I was right here complaining about that. When MJF came back, he just absolutely obliterated everybody and made them all seem like they were irrelevant. So this is a little bit of a humbling to MJF, you know, and everything else. A little give back, help build another star. I get all of the reasons that they would say that as to this being the reason why they did what they did. I just, you know, blanket coverall, I don't agree with champions losing at all, period. I don't agree with eliminator matches. I just think they make no sense, and they're just void of creativity, and it just exudes laziness and creative. That's it. Outside of that, you know, Brody King, very deserving of this push that he is getting. I just wish it was done with better quality. And I don't like champions losing. Outside of that, I like where the main event scene is as far as all of the different directions that they have to go right now. Because we've seen it much worse.
Yes.
We've seen it much worse, and we were clamoring for MJF to come back to save it. And where he has it now, it is better than what it has been as of recently. So I will give them that. I'm just I can't understand having your champions lose, especially when you have such a strong champion in MJF. I mean, he's your guy. When you get a company or a brand or an organization asking to put a guy on their TV to promote your organization, you're gonna give them MJF. You know what I'm saying? That is the guy, and you want him to be an unbeatable champion, you know, and that's just my thought process behind how I'm booking MJF. He's unbeatable until he gets beaten because he is that damn good. But we'll see where it goes. You know, we'll see where it goes. But I will never be on board with champions losing like that just to help build a number one contender for his own title. That makes no sense to me.
No, eliminated matches are shit. Second week in a row, I'm going to tell everybody, get rid of them. They are awful. MJF should not be losing in 90 seconds, no matter if he said, sure, let's put the big guy over. I don't agree with that whatsoever. There was definitely another way to go about it. I laid it out perfectly. I don't know what else to tell you. Collision on Saturday looks like this. Ciampa against Roddy and Claudio for the TNT title. Eddie Kingston, Ortiz, and the Rascals, Zachary Wentz and Desmond Xavier, against Big Bill, Brian Keith, and the grizzled young veterans, James Drake and Zach Gibson. Why they're not on Dynamite, I have no fucking clue. This is going to be a parking lot brawl. Why? I don't know. Kevin Knight versus Scorpio Sky, and the Young Bucks versus GOA. The winners advance to a three-way Dynamite tag team title match next week. Apparently, the third team is going to be a wild card team.
Wow.
Could be the Grizzled Young Veterans. Who knows? Tekla also challenges Chris Statlander for the women's title. We may be looking at a new champion next week. Stipulation to be announced by Chris Statlander on Saturday's Collision. There you go.
Who's challenging?
Tekla, Jesse.
Okay, thanks.
Tekla. We love Tekla.
Love.
And that's your Dynamite post show. I thought we did a good job. We did a good job tonight. Was I on my best behavior tonight?
We try.
All right.
We
right.
try. It was fair.
It was fair.
You know?
Yes.
It was fair.
Yes. All right, guys, let's get to these super chats and then get the hell out of here because I'm jumping on Arc Raiders for the rest of the night, and I will see you guys on Friday. Thank you so very much. Follow us on social media at JD from NY206, at Chi-Town Smark. Also on YouTube at Chi-Town Smart. Go and subscribe to Jesse's channel. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. We are looking at 630 likes. Can we get to 700? I know Solomonster went an hour and 30 minutes, so it must have been a slow night over there for him. So I could foresee us being out of here in about 6 minutes. That's how slow it is on Wednesday.
Are you gonna play 2K26?
I am not.
I got people asking me if I'm gonna play it. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. I don't play 2K20.
You got to
2K.
pay $150 for the biggest edition of the game to then get 6 season passes throughout the whole year, which then you have to actually play to get the content that is hidden behind the season passes. Instead of paying for all that stuff like they usually did in the past, now they're having you pay more and wasting more of your time. And by the way, all that goes away at the end of the year. They shut the servers down for the current game.
Man.
Yep.
Bro, the Fed is just ripping fans off, and they don't even see it. They don't even see it. They just keep they just keep feeding the money. They can't even see that they're being had. That's bullshit, man.
Ridiculous. This is not some sort of fucking MMA or not MMA, MMO shooter like Destiny or a looter shooter like Destiny. Those games you actually grind for. You're going to grind 2K26 to get all these fucking season pass. Bro, imagine it's basically like a Destiny season pass for a WWE 2K game, but you're paying $150 for their edition, and you got to play the season pass to get all the bonus content that's included there instead of just giving it to you.
I can't afford to be a WWE fan.
Are you kidding me, bro? That is awful. That sounds like torture. Holy shit.
That's shitty. That is so shitty. I got people telling me they wanted me to play it. Like, what if he bought the game for you? Would you play it? Like, no. I'd
rather fucking struggle on Black Ops 7, to be honest with you.
No, it's
so at least I know what I'm getting there. Let's get into these super chats, guys. Leave a comment, thumbs up. You guys know where to find me. Hit that subscribe button. Go check out the content on my channel. Plenty of it. I got a video coming tomorrow on AJ Styles, and we'll be live on Friday for SmackDown. We'll start at the top here. I'm assuming we got Michael Krause. Yes, we do, with a $2 super chat. JD, Jesse, OTS, how's everyone? Let's go. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Tribal Chief with a 30 months. JD, Jesse, Wednesday is my chemo day. It's hard, but watching you two makes me feel better. Thank you, OTS for life. Pal.
Oh, man. Hang in there, brother. Go get him.
Hang in there, brother. Stay strong. Kiki Longstocking with a $4.99. What's you and Jesse's favorite beer or drink? Also, are you optimistic about the WWE and the product after the Royal Rumble? To answer that last part, no. But I am excited for Punk and Roman and the real tension that they have that they showed us on Monday. I think that's great. That's what makes a great match, what they did on Monday. Jesse, what's your favorite beer or drink?
I guess I would go with a nice, man, I guess favorite. Okay. Favorite. While I was in Florida, my father-in-law, we went to the liquor store a couple of times. He's like, pick out whatever you want to drink. And I was like, whatever you want. He said, if it's in this store, you pick it, and I'm buying it. Okay. And what I grabbed some VSOP Hennessy, and it was so smooth. and it was incredible, man. You could drink it straight. It was so goddamn good. I'm gonna go with Hennessy VSOP.
That's a good one. My favorite drink is an old-fashioned. My favorite whiskey that I've tried so far, out of the copious amounts of whiskey that I've tried, there's one by Jameson. It's an Irish whiskey called Crested. You can only get it in Ireland. And I have a bottle, luckily. And it is the smoothest whiskey that I've ever tasted. It don't even taste like whiskey. So love it. Kiki Longstockings, thank you. Based CLC with a $4.99. The main event was worse than Travis Scott last year at WrestleMania. Steaming pile of shit. Hope you will, JD. Bro, there's nothing worse than Travis Scott.
I forgot about Travis Scott.
Nothing worse. Do not even compare, bro.
Actually injured the main event. So injured your top guy.
Yeah.
Travis Scott.
Telly with the 27 months. It's been a while, JD. Watched Scarface last night. Besides that, and Godfather. Which Al Pacino movie would you prefer? Carlito's Way, Heat, or Donnie Brasco? I'm going Heat, brother.
Al Pacino movie. I'm gonna go Scent of a Woman.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Scent of a Woman. Al Pacino was amazing.
My favorite Al Pacino movie is Casino.
Ooh, Casino's a good. Wait,
Yes.
Al Pacino's not in Casino.
No. Who is it? Who am I mixing up? Who am I getting confused with? It's
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci, and who's the other one?
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro. Yes, I don't know why I got him confused.
I'm like,
Yes.
What?
Yes. Sorry.
I'm like, ooh, that's a
It's
good
late.
movie.
It's 1:00. I'm late. I'm tired. Okay. Sorry.
Chad, if you have not seen Scent of a Woman by Al Pacino, go check it out, man. So good. So good.
Mike Lee with a $5 super chat. What's up, JD? Jesse, happy birthday, JD. What the hell was Dynamite tonight? Have you ever seen MJF look this bad? No.
I've never seen MJF look bad.
David Rice with a $9.99. They hot-shotted Brody King to be MJF's next challenger when they know King is not winning. This is another corner cut to get to the match instead of taking the time and building a star in Brody. I agree.
Yeah, man.
I agree. I think we went over that pretty well tonight. Brendan with a $4.99. Mox versus Takeshita will be a Grand Slam for the Continental title. Should be at the pay-per-view, honestly. Uh-oh, Jesse, your countdown's on.
Oh, no.
Fucking StreamYard, man. I don't know why they added that. It's so
There's no
fucking
countdown.
stupid.
There's no countdown on my StreamYard screen.
Oh, I did it on mine.
Oh, okay.
Jericho, $10 super chat. Megan Bain has been a mute for most of her career, even pre-AEW. If she's going to be the future of the division, promo enhancement needs to be a priority. No reason she can't talk at this rate. I agree. Yeah. She's not a good promo, bro. She's not a good promo.
Yeah.
And we'll end with this. NM949 with a $10 super chat. Why do you guys insist every guy who gets signed should be an elaborate booking plan? Some guys in either company are solid workers. They're just there to fill out a roster spot and make others look good. Bro, Ciampa is not someone that you bring in to make others look good. You need a plan with someone like Tommaso Ciampa. All the guys that we mentioned, Rusev, I mean, he can fit into an IC title program or US title program on day one. Malachi, same thing. Rey Fenix and Penta. Fenix is being used to put over other guys. Bro, this is the best luchador alongside his brother in the world and maybe the best tag team of the last 10 years. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. So some people are brought in to enhance others, yes. But those are not the people that we're talking about. The same way that you would say some are brought in to enhance others, yes, but also some are brought in to not and to become stars on their own. We're talking about those people.
Yeah.
We're talking about there's too many people coming in and they don't have plans for them. They're just signing them just to have them and figure it out later. Well, it turns out sometimes they don't figure it out later and you're wasting away someone's career who could have been doing other things.
Yep.
So if you want to sign them and bring them in, great. We hear about a big name being signed. Fantastic. What do you have planned for them? Nothing. Then why'd you sign them? Oh, so that other company doesn't get them. Well, that's that bullshit we're talking about right there.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like everybody needs something meaningful to do. You just can't bring people in at this level and just have them, all right, we're just going to put over other talent. We're going to bring them in to fill a roster spot and get TV time. Like, no, man, that's lazy. Like, you don't sign someone to a mega money deal and then just like have them sitting around just wrestling. You got to give them a direction.
Agreed.
Nothing worse than just having someone signed and them not doing anything or living up to their potential. Anyway, thank you guys very much for all your support. We're about to get out of here. Appreciate you on this Wednesday night. I know AEW isn't the most exciting product in the world. Nothing seems exciting right now. I don't know what to tell you, but we're trying to navigate through this WrestleMania season, and you guys have started February off great, so.
It is WrestleMania season.
It is WrestleMania season's underway, bro. You know? It does not feel like it, no. No. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for all your support. If you guys want to support me, you can do that still by hitting that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Go check out the rest of the content. TNT, Monday Night Raw. We got videos coming tomorrow. On Friday, I'll be live as we celebrate number 44 for this guy right here, man. I'm getting old. So make sure you guys go and support where you can. Appreciate you all. Go follow Jesse at Chi-Town Smart on Twitter and on... Who? What? Patriots. Yeah. So go follow Jesse, Chi-Town Smart on Twitter and YouTube. And we will see you right back here, as always, with more AEW on Wednesday next week, right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys Friday.